Fox News alert, back to our top story, the Trump arrest and indictment yesterday. And with an election on the horizon, inflation out of control, and China's constant provocation, is this really what voters want our elected officials to focus on?
Ooh, this is a good way. This is the Hasanabi chatter defense, but being utilized by senior douchey, okay, on the Fox 5. Like, Americans have bigger issues to worry about. Like, no, the fuck they don't. They just don't give a shit about anything. Americans, and we are certainly Americans as well, just like the rest of them, just like the rest of us, we love this shit, okay? Also, constant provocation by China is just like China existing. They're existing, but also existing provocatively, okay?
On right now. Our great panel joins us live. You guys have been good sports. You've been here 3 hours. You've been watching us. Thank you very much.
I love when they do panels like this because like half of the panel is like American Enterprise Institute lobbyists. You know what I mean? They're like, here, let's hear from these concerned citizens on our unbiased panel that we got together. Joining me now is Bartholomew Carlsberg from the American Enterprise Institute, playing the role of a concerned parent.
All right, let's start. Audience question, first of all. We've been watching the polls on the Republican side. It seems like every time there's news about this indictment, and yesterday we saw it, Donald Trump's poll ratings go up. If the primary were held today, who thinks Donald Trump would win the Republican primary? Okay. Now, fast forward to the general election.
And no shit.
How many of you think that Donald Trump would then win the general election? Let's see the hands. All right. Sammy, you're in the back. You're a Democrat. Why do you think that Donald Trump
No.
would win the general after this?
Well, if you see what's happening in our country where, abroad, they're not respecting us. Saudi Arabia already said that they're not going to follow.
Yeah, here is our Democrat, Sammy Ravello, who's definitely a Democratic Party voter, who's certainly not here to basically say exactly what like every Republican says. Yeah, Democrats love talking about how Barack Obama lost respect at the global level, and that's why I voted for Donald Trump. I mean, I voted for the Democrat.
What we say, the dollar is in shambles right now overseas. We see also how, here, people, their buying power, their disposable income is shrinking,
His Twitter, oh my God, you found it. Father, son, anti-woke U.S. Navy veteran, 9/11 for real, retired NYPD lieutenant, president of the Dominican Veterans of America. Wait, he literally, wait, what? He lost in the Democratic Party because he ran as a conservative. "9/11 for real? Oh my fucking God, first responder." Yeah. I wonder how much of a Democrat this guy is.
That's a lot of concern for us to be worried about finance laws on the former president. I think we're concentrating on the wrong thing.
What the fuck is the Conservative Party Democrat, bro? That's even more geared to lose than a normal Democrat? Yes. The Conservative Party means that he actually concluded a Ballotpedia survey that openly showed that he was a conservative. He's just running on the Democratic ticket and losing, but he is definitely he's definitely conservative. I mean, he's anti-woke, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
This may backfire.
Okay, speaking of backfire, so yesterday we were assuming there would be more meat on the bone.
I love takes like this because it's like Alvin Bragg should be controlling the currency. Like Alvin Bragg is too busy trying to prosecute Donald Trump when he should be making sure that Xi Jinping is stopping Brazil and China from communicating with one another and maybe getting off the dollar. Like, what the fuck? The fuck is Alvin Bragg supposed to do? Like, I don't understand. Campaign ad? Oh my God, you found the Democrats' campaign ad. Oh God, you guys are impossible to stop.
I came to the U.S. from the Dominican Republic when I was 16 years old. My mother settled right here in the Bronx. Hi, I'm Sammy Ravello. My American story began in Walton High School. I studied and worked after school bagging groceries at the corner bodega or pumping gas at the local gas station. When I graduated, I joined the U.S. Navy. In our military, I learned the importance of...
Well, he's a defender of LGBT rights at least.
Working together for a common cause. I fought in the Gulf War that liberated Kuwait from Saddam Hussein.
He fought in the Gulf War. That's my favorite. That's my favorite of wars, you guys know famously. He fought in the Gulf War, brother.
For my enlistment, I came home to the Bronx. I enrolled in Bronx Community College and applied to join the police department. For me, it was an honor and privilege to serve the NYPD for 25 years until I retired as a lieutenant in 2019. One of the highlights of my service was to be a first responder and survivor to the terrorist attacks of 9/11.
What the fuck? Why would you say that's a highlight, dog? He's like, dude, I had so much fun on 9/11. It was crazy. That's weird wording, dude. I swear to God. Yo, that shit was crazy, dog. 9/11, so many fond memories from 9/11. Definitely the highlight of my career. My man's talking about it like it's Muhammad Atta, dude. What the fuck?
I was part of a department of thousands of officers and civilians that partnered with local communities to make New York City and the Bronx the safest big city in America. But that has all changed. Crime has risen to levels not seen since the 1990s.
Yeah, I wonder why this guy lost, dude. It's so crazy to me that, this guy just, couldn't win the Democratic primary.
Rents are out of control, and the borough has the worst healthcare outcome out of all the counties in New York State. Career politicians have failed us, and now they're asking us to give them a new job. I say no. The Bronx has been hit the hardest during the worst pandemic in our lifetime, and we need a real champion who will fight to help us in the recovery. I will be that champion. I am Sammy Ravello, and I approve this message.
Yeah, this guy sucks. Okay, love that though. We've now established that he's definitely a Democrat.
Who was surprised that there was no felony listed? Marissa? Once again, you're a Democrat as well. Welcome back.
I am. I was just surprised they were building this and building this. I mean, this is
There's
what
gotta be
Bragg
something
ran on.
big.
There has to be something big. And quite frankly, look, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but I was expecting more. I mean, this is nothing new. Every president, everybody who gets ascended to political power has some sort of skeleton in their closet, right? So I frankly wasn't that surprised.
Yeah, but, this is new.
Yeah.
Porn star payoff is kind of new in
That is
presidential
new,
politics.
but
Just
when they're
saying.
talking about falsifying.
Damn, bro, chill. Trump watches this, bro. Hold up. Why you bring that up? Why are you bringing that up, dude? My favorite thing is thinking about how much these motherfuckers secretly despise Donald Trump. So, oh no.
Business documents, I feel like that happens.
Samantha, you're smiling back there.
Because I think it's a joke. How we...
They have heard to shit on liberals apparently all the time. Some Biden voters have buyer's remorse as various crises plague the White House.
Far from normal
perspective on this, and you say it.
I don't think that their vote. I just feel very manipulated by the media. Like,
of course not. I tend to err.
President Biden's handling of that topic. You say that you don't regret voting for Biden, but you really aren't very happy with the direction of the country.
Of course not. I tend to err more on the side of being a progressive, and we are just as upset about the direction of the country as anyone else is. You know, I came of age during the Obama administration where President Biden was this funny, cool guy, that funny old guy, Uncle Joe, that
What the fuck? Wait, what? Ew. No.
everybody called him. So when he was up for election, we were like, how bad can he possibly be? Sure, he's not really an effective.
Dude, this is how you know they just sound like the cartoonish depictions of like Democrats or liberals from the Republican side. Like, she's about to bust out the Democratic plantation talking points. You know what I mean? Like,
legislator, if you look back at his track record. But we were told by the DNC, by everybody else, he's going to be fine. He's going to push a progressive agenda. He's going to check all of the boxes that all of you are thinking about. And he's going to be one of the most progressive leaders in history. And none of that has come true, obviously. He has gone back on so many campaign promises. And as a lifelong Democrat, I do not regret voting for him. I just think that he's not going to be able to run again. There's just no way.
Well, Natasha.
wait, she guest hosted on Fox? Impact of the mom vote in this year's midterms? What the fuck? Also, why does she look so evil? Dare to Run leadership cohort. Dare to Run virtual women's leadership cohort. Marissa Benton Caro is a recent transplant to Greenwich, Connecticut by way of New York City. In addition to being a mother, a perpetual student, Marissa is a K-8 school administrator, Democratic political commentator on Fox News, and the CEO and founder of Empowering Media, a digital media firm that gives women the skills and education to start and grow their businesses through mentorship programs, education, and services. She is a champion and advocate of social justice, equality, inclusivity, access to education, and women's rights. She's a schemer, chaotic, neutral type. Yeah, it does seem like that. Most people that you're going to see on stuff like this is that they're gonna be very what do you call it? I don't know what that website is, by the way. I don't fucking know if that like like voting records or whatever. But most people that they get for situations like this that go online and talk about their political positions like this, they're gonna be grifting a little bit. You know what I mean? They're gonna be grifting for sure. She could be a little progressive, but I think in this regard, she's just like, in this regard, she's most likely just playing off of, she's most likely just like playing off of what the expectations are in that situation. Her job is to, you know, play the role of a progressive Democrat who doesn't like who doesn't like Joe Biden, but for like idiotic reasons.
How are we in our country, the greatest country in the world, in this position? And we're going after Trump when we had Hillary that deleted 33,000 emails and broke servers, and there was no indictment on that. And we had Bill Clinton, what he did with Paula Jones, and there was no indictment on that. And we have Biden with his, classified documents, and what's going on with that? Oh, it's just hush, hush, hush. And we're going to focus on things that, sorry, but men, this goes on.
Sure. after he was arrested yesterday. Apparently today, Donald Trump has called for America to defund the police, particularly the FBI, the Department of Justice, because the Democrats have weaponized law enforcement. All right, who in this panel, raise your hand, who thinks...
If you're a conservative who's like upset about this, you're just a sore loser, okay? You literally voted for a guy who said he was going to weaponize law enforcement against Hillary Clinton, who then refused to do so, okay? Hold this fucking L, bitch. You chanted lock her up. I was on board. I was chanting lock her up alongside of you, okay? You kept saying you want to weaponize law enforcement against Hillary Clinton, and then when your fucking dumbass president didn't do that, you turn around and you go, well, I don't really like this. I don't like that this is like turning on me. The turntables, I don't like.
that's a good idea? All right, nobody. But Madeline, you have a very special story because you wound up having a family member murdered, and so the cops are on your side.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Or so you would think that they are. We need the police in our communities, all right? I speak directly to the black and brown community where all of the crime is happening, all of the crime that's being ignored and swept under the rug that Alvin Bragg is refusing to prosecute. We need the police. If we don't have any other defense.
Dude, yeah, Alvin Bragg famously is like, you know, he just loves that crime is happening. Again, this Manhattan district attorney is famously pro-crime. It's so fucking insane. Famously.
Or deterrent for the runaway crime that's happening. At least let us continue to have our NYPD.
Like, one of the funniest parts about this is that crime not being investigated adequately, okay, and not being dealt with properly is directly in the hands of the police. And oftentimes when you actually talk about this issue, they'll say, oh, well, then they're doing a blue flu, okay? And it's like that means like they are no longer responding to crimes in the way that they're supposed to, okay? That has nothing to do with the fucking DA. It's still the cops, dumbass. Get mad at the fucking cops. But because one of this lady's tweets, all you media outlets pushing and airing these abortion commercials over and over and over and over again, you have no idea the destruction and genocide you are promoting. All you can is trying to win off votes with the backs of black babies, destroyed abortion, insane. Yeah, I mean, she is a conservative. They're not saying that she's not. She's not a Democrat. This one is a conservative. Not every one of these people on the panel are Democrats, chat. She's a conservative. They're anyway. The point is, I know that. I understand that. I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about the fact that people regularly talk about how like, oh, the DA is responsible. These are, you know, not tough on crime DAs. It's like, dude, ultimately the people that are stopping criminals on the fucking streets, if you think that that's what cops are supposed to do, are the cops. Okay? The DA does not have that much power over regular police conduct or misconduct. You can claim that the DAs are letting criminals go after cops arrest them, but that should still not stop cops from continuing to jail people if you think that that's what they're supposed to be doing. The idea that like the pro-crime left-wing DAs are stopping police from doing their jobs is a silly notion, because like then you're ultimately saying that the police are capitulating and caving to these woke DAs. Oh, they're not arresting criminals now because they know that the criminals will be out regardless. Okay? It's like, all right, well then still do it. Of course, regardless, when you consider the fact that, we house in this country 25% of the entire planet's caged humans, okay, despite making up only 4% of the entire planet's overall population, when you consider the consider the reality that America's punitive carceral state is one of the most horrifying, awful ones, and then on top of that, when you consider the fact that crime overall is down historically from historic levels, it just makes no sense. This argument makes no sense. But of course, it's not supposed to make sense.
When they are arrested, they're immediately released right from the precinct to a community-based organization that they never show up at.
Yeah. What he apparently posted was Republicans in Congress should defund the DOJ and FBI until they come to their senses. He wrote, Democrats have totally weaponized law enforcement, as I just said, in our country and are viciously using this abuse.
This guy's saying Trump advocating to defund the police is also hilarious. But anyway.
The power to interfere with our already under siege elections. Dominic, we haven't heard from you yet. What do you make of what happened?
So I think it's clearly a political stunt. I think there are much bigger cases to chase after. Or we still haven't heard of the Jeffrey Epstein case. No arrests have been made about that. We know dozens and dozens of high-profile political people were involved in that scandal or in that case. I'd be much more interested to hear about what happened on those islands and what happened in those cases much more before I hear about Trump and his business dealings.
Frank, the former president does face other legal peril with the Georgia case, with the so-called...
It's funny, again, whenever Republicans talk about Jeffrey Epstein, it fucking blows my mind that they can't piece that, like, Alan Dershowitz, who's Jeffrey Epstein's bestie, who literally defended him in court, among other things, like defending the lowering of age of consent laws. I wonder why he did that from a constitutional perspective, of course. How do you not realize that, like, that guy is quite literally on every fucking Fox News panel? Like, he's on every Fox News panel all the time, including Tucker Carlson. When you do that, you cannot make an argument that you care about sex trafficking of children. You cannot make an argument that you care about, like, Jeffrey Epstein and the pedophile Democrats or whatever the fuck. It's such a weird form of cognitive dissonance that blows my mind.
Docalago, the documents down at Mar-a-Lago and stuff like that. Are you worried about that stuff, or do you think that will be much like this was?
I think, am I worried about it? No one wants to see crime committed in the country. So do I mind it being investigated? No, but investigated fairly. I mean, President Biden has more documents for more years than we can add up all of Trump's documents. So let's at least have the appearance that the investigations are nonpartisan. That's the problem. To Dominic's point, it's not. It's the most partisan. Defund the police? No. But de-weaponize the DOJ? 100%.
And I should point out, Dominic's an independent. Frank is a Republican. Can I see the hands of people who think that yesterday's indictment was political? Okay. Unanimous. We're out. Thank you very much for joining us.
I mean, that one tracks with the rest of the country.